Happy Monday. It's the Jam Nation podcast with Jonesy and Amanda.
We talked to Claire Stevens from Mamma Mia's Cancelled podcast in our That's Entertainment segment. Victoria Beckham is feuding with her brand new daughter-in-law. We get to the bottom of what's going on.
Oh, there's trouble there. Also, we catch up with the opposition leader, Chris Minns. He's talking about mobile phones in schools and banning them.
Yes, that's right. Serena Williams had her last match. We look at her emotional speech. She was beaten by an Aussie who was very gracious.
Down to the Jonesy and Amanda arms for the pub test. Practical jokes. Do they pass the pub test?
The tribal drum is beating for Tales of the Sleepwalker. We got some extraordinary stories.
And if I send a picture of myself into the local newspaper, am I up myself?
Well, we've put it to the people.
Enjoy our podcast.
Everybody
Right now, by the miracle of recording, we had so many requests for them to do it again.
Mistress Amanda.
Miss Keller. Amanda.
Doesn't work alone.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Her friend is in a back room making the tools of the trade.
I've heard them describe him as a drunken idiot.
Sorry, I've been drinking beer.
The legendary pirate Jonesy and Amanda the actress.
Hello, Wiggles. Congratulations, Mandy. We're on the radio right now.
Jonesy and Amanda, you're doing a great job.
You have no empathy for anyone but yourself, you giant tool.
Now's the time to hear good radio.
Sorry, a bit of a tongue twist there.
But are you an idiot?
Jonesy and Amanda are here. It's showtime, a-holes. We're on the
Top of the morning to you, my little red-shirted friend.
That's me. And how was your Father's Day?
It was great. It was great. I got stuff. I had food. It was a great day.
You know, there's never an ad campaign that says, I got stuff and I ate food, because we like more details than that.
The thing about being a father on Father's Day, you just don't want to be bothered with anything. It's the one day you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about getting someone a gift. My father's dead, so I don't have to get him a gift. So really, it's a day of like, yeah, well, you just sit there and...
And did you just sit there and have things done for you? Did you have
It was
breakfast in
nice.
bed?
No, I didn't get anything in bed. It was about midday.
When you got up?
Midday. No, I was doing chores around the house.
So you said you didn't have to do anything.
Well, no, my own chores, fun chores. Fun chores, just my own stuff. And my daughter came home at midday and said, we're having lunch today. And I'm eating a sandwich. I said, well, I'm eating a sandwich right now, sweet pea.
Thanks for the heads up.
Oh, well, everyone's coming around. We're going to have lunch. And I went, okay. So we had a late lunch at 4 o'clock, which was nice.
Nice. And what was it?
Just some barbecue food, which I cooked, but she made nice salads and all the stuff that I don't want to do. Like, I like to cook
Nice.
in the barbecue.
Yeah.
And then we watched the Sharks win.
Yeah,
which
they
was
did that
good.
for you.
And then we ate at 4 o'clock, which was great. By 6 o'clock, I didn't realise... And I texted you to say, I hope everything's going well with Harley and Art for Father's Day. I'm going to bed. And then I looked at my phone. I thought it was 10 to 9. It was 10 to 8. And then I was asleep, out like a light by 8 o'clock. And then I woke up at 9 at night. And
You're
when
like a baby.
I was. I didn't wake myself. And I looked at the clock. But when you look at the clock, I went, what time is that?
Is it 9 a.m.?
9, when 9 is that?
What planet am I on?
When 9 is that? And so that was me.
We had a great weekend. Liam came home from uni in Newcastle. Jack, who lives on campus at Sydney, came home Friday night. We actually all had dinner together, which was nice. We went to Beppy's.
Oh, nice.
What a nice
You're becoming
restaurant.
a regular there.
Oh, I've been 2 weeks in a row.
You're
I
like
haven't been
old
for
school.
20 years now. I said, my normal table, please.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Loved it. And then Saturday night, Harley and Liam watched the rugby at home, and they enjoyed all that because the All Blacks were on before the Wallabies. And I had a mother-son dinner and a crazy dance night for Jack's college.
Oh, here we go.
It was so much fun. I can barely walk. My hips are so sore from dancing for hours. It was a brilliant, brilliant night.
I'm just thinking a scene from Animal House. Just you, Lue.
Do you know what I've realised is all the songs that the mums and sons were dancing to, it's our music, it's our playlist. All the kids know it, we know it, it's ABBA, it's Fleetwood Mac, it's all the stuff that we play, Scissor Sisters, everyone, kids, mums, everyone was dancing. I think that the genre of music that we're plop in the middle of is the link between the generations. Horses, you can imagine how the room went
That would've
crazy
gone off.
when horses came on.
So there wasn't any Lil Poopy?
There were no lils, no
No
little
lil.
poopy, no N-words,
No
none
N-words?
of that. It was,
you would have been disappointed.
It was. I
'Cause
had
that's
to
in your-
provide my own.
That's in your wheelhouse.
It was just such a great night. And then Sunday, I cooked a big, beautiful lunch for
yum.
the family.
What'd
It was
you make?
great. I made a homemade focaccia.
Wow.
And I said to Harley, what would you like? He said, let's have a nice steak. So, of course, I wrecked the steak. But we
What
had
did you do,
steak.
overcook it?
No, it was nice. Everyone said it was nice, but, I can't
why
tell.
you overcooked
I'm not a great meat cooker. Harley's normally the meat cooker of the family.
You've got to rest it for some time.
I
but
can't be
that's-
bothered.
that's-
I can't be
just
bothered.
eat it, throw
So
it
then
out.
we had chips and salad, and I made a caramelised apple pudding for dessert.
Oh,
it
whoa.
was lovely.
Focaccia me.
Well, sure. They played that song too.
Action-packed show today. We have $10,000 up for grabs with the $10,000 question, but we can't do anything until we do the Magnificent Seven.
Question 1, let's get on with it. Which lizard is famous for camouflage?
Jam Nation. Podcast.
We got the Magnificent Seven. 7 questions. Can you go all the way and answer all 7 questions correctly? If you do that, Amanda will say, but it's about getting question 7 right. James is in Windsor.
Hello, James.
Good morning, how are we?
Very well, thank you. Question 1, which lizard is famous for camouflaging?
Chameleon.
A chameleon.
Chameleon. Red, gold and green, as Boy George said.
Good O.
Guo.
Good O, I
Oh,
said.
they said guo.
No, good O. I don't know how you want me to respond to when you quote the lyrics of Culture Club to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just, it's just one of those things you don't have to add to it.
Good. I haven't. Then you mocked me for not adding to it.
Well, you said guo.
No, I said good O.
What is doll Barbie's real name?
Barbie.
The doll Barbie. What's its real first name?
Not it, her.
It. The girl Barbie.
Jacinta.
Why would Jacinta be called Barbie?
Kathleen's in St Mary's.
Hello, Kathleen.
Hi, how are you this morning?
Very well.
Super.
So, Barbie, what's Barbie's actual real name?
Barbara.
Yes.
It's Barbara.
Jacinta.
Jacinta. Could be. Let's play Siri Sings.
Siri singing a song. What is it?
13-month-old baby. Broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck. The good things in your past. When you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer.
Wow.
What song's that?
I have absolutely no idea.
Wow.
You will know the song.
You will. Have a listen again.
13-month-old baby. Broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck. The good things in your past. When you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer.
Bit of a Debbie Downer today, old Siri.
Jam Nation.
Friend of the Magnificent Seven. We're up to question number 3.
John's in Glenwood. Hello, John.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Have
How
a
are
listen
you?
to this song that Siri's singing.
13-month-old baby.
Baby.
Broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck. The good things in your past. When you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer.
What's the song?
Stevie Wonder's Superstition.
Yes, it is.
Writing's on the wall, man.
You know, could listen to that song for years and never know that those were the lyrics. Great song.
Great song.
Question 4 for you here. Which of these places would you not find in New South Wales? There's 3 places. One of them's not in New South Wales, so they're all real. 1, Delicate Nobby. B, Ball's Head. C, Mount Blowhard. One of them's not in New South Wales.
What was the first one? The first one.
Delicate Nobby.
Delicate Nobby?
Delicate Nobby is in Kempsey, I'm afraid. Sorry,
Zoe's
John.
in Chatswood, or Zoe in Chatswood.
Hello, Zoe.
Hey.
Hello. Which of these places would you not find in New South Wales? We know that Delicate Nobby is in New South Wales. Ball's Head and Mount Blowhard. Which of those isn't in New South Wales?
Mount Blowhard.
That's right. It's in Queensland next to Dumpy Creek.
Oh, must get there sometime. Who is Queen Elizabeth II's successor, Zoe?
I don't know.
Well, who's going to be the next person?
Who's the next one? Sorry, Zoe.
Ross is in Kellyville.
Hello, Ross.
Hello.
When the Queen either passes away or decides to move along.
She's listening. She's going, oh, thank you. I'm not dead yet.
No, she's not. That's true. Who's going to be her successor?
Charles.
Yeah,
Charles.
Prince of Wales.
What does the AC button on a calculator stand for?
All clear.
Yeah.
Which brings you to question 7. Here we go, Ross. Which 2 teams are kicking off the final rounds for NRL this week?
Panthers and Parramatta.
Yeah,
Yes,
what a
it
game
is.
that's going to be.
But everyone will be watching the living room now on Friday.
Of course,
so
of course.
people
I'll
will be
watching.
recording
I
the
watched the
football.
living room on the weekend. I TiVoed it and I enjoyed it
You can
immensely.
get it on 10 Play or you can series link it.
I watched it. It was really good.
I'm glad you liked it.
Congratulations, you won the Jam Pack. It's all coming your way, Ross. $250 design appliances voucher, your premium appliance specialist, 212 Parramatta Road Camperdown, a family pass to the big 4-wheel drive show. The 4-wheel drive and adventure show is back at Eastern Creek. Tickets at 4-wheel drive, that's F4, like number 4, WD show.com.au. And Jonesy and Amanda Coach, choose food to colour in and some standard pencils. Ross, anything you would like to add?
That is awesome. Thank you so much, and go the Roosters on Sunday.
Yeah.
I agree. Thank you,
Well, the
Ross.
Roosters
It's
had
a
a win,
do or
didn't it, against
die.
the Bunnies?
I know. Now it's do or die time.
Do or die. Who are you playing next?
Well, the Bunnies again.
Oh, that's right. You got the bunny. You got
Yeah.
double bunnies.
Double bunnies.
Yeah, well, good luck with
It's
that.
all elimination now from now on. That's how I feel when I'm watching it.
Because Sharks are into the Cowboys, but it's
You
not
get
do
a
or
second
die.
crack. You get a second crack.
Not second crack.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Wake up, people. Up and at 'em. Time to go to work.
I don't feel like working today. Can I just stay in bed?
Thumbing through the Almanac, our big book of musical facts. On this day in 1981, Stevie Nicks went to number 1 in the US with the album Belladonna. She'd broken away from Fleetwood Mac and she'd set out on her own. Stevie is known as the queen of rock and roll, but she said when she was starting out, she got her confidence when she opened for Jimi Hendrix.
Oh.
He dedicated a song to her. In a radio interview, she said, "There was a huge show in San Francisco. I was side stage when Jimmy went on. He looked over at me and said, 'This is for you, babe.' And then went into a blistering song."
What was the song?
I don't know. She doesn't really go into much detail about that. Didn't Stevie, she had a fan that pursued her relentlessly, always showing up with a bouquet of red roses. And in the end, she just went, "Oh, okay, have at it." And
Really?
that's what I heard.
Was that her vase?
It's part of the
Because on the road you wouldn't carry a vase with
No,
you.
you wouldn't have a place to put them. So he did this. There you go. Get in there. It's a new level of merchandise, isn't it?
What are we playing?
Oh, what about this? Stevie and Tommy.
Oh, nice. They
Love
were
this.
they were lovers.
They were. He brought his own vase.
Jam Nation.
Well, we said, how would you feel if it was you that knocked Serena Williams out of the US Open and therefore pretty much being the last match she would ever play because she's mooted that she was going to be retiring after this tournament? Well, it's happened. And it happened to an Australian. And congratulations to her, Isla Tomljanovic. She beat Serena Williams and it was a hugely emotional moment. And here's Serena's gracious words.
Oh my God, thank you so much. You guys were amazing today. I tried, but Ala just played a little bit better. Thank you, Daddy. I know you're watching. Thanks, Mom. It all started with my parents, and they deserve everything, so I'm really grateful for them. And I wouldn't be Serena if it wasn't Venus, so thank you, Venus. She's the only reason that Serena Williams ever existed, so it's been the most incredible ride and journey I've ever been on, in my life, and I'm just so grateful to every single person that's ever said go Serena in their life. I'm just so grateful because, yeah, you got me here.
I got goosebumps hearing that to every person that said go Serena.
Yeah.
And so Isla, who beat her, also was aware of the momentous nature of the moment.
I'm feeling really sorry just because I love Serena just as much as you guys do, and what she's done for me for the sport of tennis is incredible, and I never thought that I'd have a chance to play her in her last match when I remember watching her as a kid in all those finals, so this is a surreal moment for me. She's the greatest of all time.
Everyone seems pretty happy she beat her.
Well, it had to happen, and both very gracious players there. And it's easy to forget how she changed the face of tennis. Until she and her sister came along, it was really seen as an elitist sport. It was blonde ponytails. There wasn't equal pay. Billie Jean fought hard, but the 4 Grand Slams did not have equal pay. But everyone started to watch the tennis when these 2 interesting sisters started to play. They had different bodies to the other players. They were solid. They were athletic. They grunted when they hit the ball. They had beads in their hair. They were black. Tennis had never seen that. Women's tennis had never seen or celebrated that before. It was a huge thing. And I didn't realise this because I haven't read the story and I haven't seen the film about their father. That's the film that Will Smith won. Remember that? In the midst of all that, he actually won an Oscar.
When he slapped Chris Rock.
Yeah, you forget that there was a film involved
But
there.
he played King Richard.
He played Richard Williams, who their father was. So there were 3 older sisters and his dad decided, I'm going to make a tennis player. And he made 2. He really one drop of sinister
like Milton the
sauce.
Monster.
Well, in a way, because he developed a business plan for the Richard Williams Tennis Association, a 75-page business plan, a blueprint for raising champions. He said he acted as architect and promoter of the girls. So he really had these daughters to be tennis players, and he skilled them and schooled them in not just how to play tennis, but he was the king of marketing. And he had the trope or the narrative that they were these poor little girls from a poor suburb.
From the ghetto.
From the ghetto, and look what's happened. The truth is they weren't particularly a poor family, but he thought that was a better narrative for these girls. And he created these champions. Extraordinary.
Isn't that amazing? He could actually do that. I wonder, when you look at sporting people, I wasn't from my dad was a great sportsman. He was really good at football, but I wasn't. I wanted to be good at football, but I wasn't. And then I look at my kids, they weren't overly great at sport.
But if you're a different kind of family, you would have had them playing sport from when they were a very young age. Harley's a Kiwi, so he pushed rugby union hard with our kids.
Your boys are real sports
From
kids.
the time they were 5, they were playing rugby union. That was what he wanted for them and they wanted for themselves. That was part of our family and our weekends and all of that. But if you don't come from that family, then you don't have that. And that's absolutely how it goes. Some families pursue art. Some families pursue other things. Sometimes I've got a friend whose daughter was selected for the Institute of Sport in New Zealand because they came around and measured her arms and her legs and saw she'd be a rower.
Really?
Yeah, so sometimes you're picked because your body fits a certain type. And then you have others who, like this, grow up in a family where it's hugely encouraged.
Maybe I'm meant to be doing something else.
Yeah, let's try and find what that is.
What is it? What
let's
can I do?
find what it is, Brendan.
There's got to be something.
Let's find your mojo.
Maybe I was meant for the theatre. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Podcast.
I demand entertainment. Are you not entertained?
Put on your dancing shoes.
Now give me your best shot.
From the Mamma Mia Cancelled podcast, you will hear this young lady with her sister Jessie. Claire Stevens, hello.
Hello,
Claire.
Guys, I've got some gossip.
Let's do it.
Yep.
It's a feud too. I love a feud.
It's a feud. So sometimes we might think we have things going on in our own lives, but then we learn that Victoria Beckham is heartbroken after falling out with her daughter-in-law Nicola Peltz, and whatever we were worrying about is no longer important because the beautiful people are feuding.
I want to know more.
We need to stop.
Nicola Peltz has married Brooklyn, their eldest son.
Yes.
And she's a bit older than him, isn't she? A couple of years older, I
a
think.
couple of years older. And
So how old's Brooklyn?
23.
He's
very
23 now
young.
because
He's
I
a
see him as a
chef, I think.
14-year-old.
Yeah.
He's a chef.
Yeah.
Oh, describes himself as a chef.
Yeah.
But look, he's a rich person's son.
I saw him. There's that influencer that goes around and someone's in a fancy car and he says, hey, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
And it was him. Is that right?
Yes.
And the guy says, what do you do for a living? And he says, I'm a chef. He's driving this Bugatti or some car that's worth
And
$1
it's
billion.
like, sweetie, that's not how you got your car.
No.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
You should
From
be-
your chefing.
should be driving a
You
Ford
haven't chopped
Festiva.
onions for that.
No, you haven't, mate. But so he got married in April, and there's been tension between Brooklyn's mother and Brooklyn's new wife ever since then. And we just keep getting more details, but we've got more clarity over the weekend. Basically, the disagreement started over Nicola's wedding dress. So Peltz apparently said she would wear a design by Victoria Beckham. beautiful fashion designer, who has her very successful fashion label. But whispers in Peltz's camp have claimed that she never intended to go through with it. And instead, she wore Valentino. And she told Variety that she wanted to wear a Beckham design, but the logistics just didn't work out. However, an insider said she was always just going to let Victoria design something. She was never going to put it on because she has too many actually talented designer friends.
Oh.
And it's like when you have an in-law and they say they make the best meatballs. You hate meatballs, but you let them cook it anyway. That's exactly what happened. She was never, ever going to wear it.
But that was always then going to be a point of contention.
Yeah.
When the bride comes down the aisle, it's like meatballs you can put in the freezer and say we ate them, whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious what dress she's wearing.
Exactly. And so that's very, very awkward. And then at the wedding, David Beckham's good friend Mark Anthony made a speech and gushed about Victoria. And a source said Nicola had wanted her wedding day to be all about her.
Funny that.
So she cried in the middle of the reception and stormed off with her sister and her mum.
No
Because
way.
the hard thing is, if you're a bride and you're marrying into a Beckham family, it'd be very easy to be
they're a big deal.
overshadowed by Victoria Beckham.
Yes, at your own wedding. And so she clearly was very sensitive about that. So details about those two stories have come out in the last few days, but so has another awkward moment. So Brooklyn and Nicola were on the cover of Vogue Hong Kong, and Victoria congratulated Brooklyn and Brooklyn only. She posted all these solo photos of him on her Instagram and only acknowledged him in the caption.
So chopped her out.
Yeah, and you would think that it would be like, oh, congratulations to my son and his new wife.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, congratulations, Brooklyn. And over the summer, Nicola and Brooklyn have been honeymooning with Peltz's family. So they went on their honeymoon and invited Peltz's mum and dad. And the Beckhams were on a yacht nearby, because obviously when you're rich, your summer holidays, you're on a yacht in
And the
Europe.
Peltz, so they're rich, aren't they?
They're next level rich.
So on a scale, so the Beckhams, they're rich.
Yeah.
So are the Peltz more rich?
Oh, significantly.
What significantly?
Significant.
So if
they're
you compared, say, me and Amanda's rich
Oh, Brendan.
compared to me. No, just to get a
let's get the real information. Ignore that, please, Claire.
That's exactly what it is. Amanda would have a bigger boat.
Yeah, she would. She would.
And
I'm happy with
deservedly so.
And so they're on these yachts, but it appears that the families did not see each other. They travelled completely separately, and apparently Victoria is absolutely heartbroken because Brooklyn was always there for her when things were not good with David.
Oh,
So
she's used him as that.
Yes.
Right.
As
So
women
it's
often do with their
particularly-
sons.
Exactly. It's particularly upsetting. And Victoria hasn't liked any of Nicola's photos from the honeymoon.
Which sounds like sort of bitchy girl talk, but she knows the world's looking at that.
Exactly.
And she knows by not liking it what she's saying.
Exactly. And so this all started with blind items shared by a gossip Instagram account saying the two weren't getting along. But then the more people looked, the more it did seem like there was actually evidence, such as not interacting with each other's photos. And on the wedding day, Victoria on her Instagram kept congratulating Mr. and Mrs. Beckham, even though she knew the couple were taking the joint last name of Peltz Beckham.
Peltz Beckham.
So just a few little digs like that. And when Nicola shared photos from the wedding with the caption "family is everything to me," she didn't include photos of the Beckhams. It was just her family. So the wild thing about this situation to me is just that the Beckhams are like the uncool family in this marriage.
They're the chavs.
They're the
They're the
the ones
chavs
that they're
against
like,
the big
ew.
richies.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
So there's Victoria running up a wedding dress on the faff, and then
Yeah.
she's not wearing it. So what do the Peltzers do for a crust?
So Nelson
Peltz.
who's Nicola's dad, is the chairman of Wendy's.
Oh, Wendy's,
in
this is
America.
the food club.
Yeah.
Loaded.
Okay.
So
Loaded.
Totally different level of wealth to the Beckhams.
Imagine how rich you'd have to be to make the Beckhams look like the
poor.
chavs.
Look poor.
Yeah.
That's what's happening here, and I just find it so fascinating.
This has been great. Me and Amanda out in the harbour on our respective boats.
I'm pretending to eat your meatballs.
She's not coming near your yacht.
No, I'm not.
Thank you, Claire. We'll catch you next week. Check out Claire, by the way, with Jesse on the Cancelled podcast.
Jam Nation.
Now, there's a couple of questions that I have to ask you.
I don't answer questions.
Just answer the question, okay?
What's in it for me?
$10,000 reward.
Right here, right now, we have $10,000. Last week, We gave away $10,000 with the $10,000 question. This could happen again right now.
Could happen. Here's how it works. We've got 10 questions. We've got 60 seconds on the clock. The person who gets to question 10 and answers it correctly is our winner. But the minute you hesitate, the minute you're wrong, you get buzzed out and someone takes your place.
Sandra is in Hurstville. Hello, Sandra.
Hi, Jonesy. Hi, Amanda.
Hello, Sandra. All right. You ready to start?
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right, Sandra. Good luck today. Here we go. Question 1. An owlet is a baby what?
Owl.
Question 2. Gorgonzola cheese originated in which country?
Anne's in St Clair.
Gorgonzola cheese originated in which country?
Italy.
Question 3. Which car manufacturer made the RX-8?
Mazda.
Question 4. Who's the host of Farmer Wants a Wife?
Natalie Grisleski.
Question 5. What did e-commerce company Amazon first start out selling?
Pass.
Michael's in Marsfield.
What did e-commerce company Amazon first start out selling?
No, sorry.
Christy's in Wahroonga.
What did e-commerce company Amazon first start out selling?
Darren's in Rosebery.
What did e-commerce company Amazon first start out selling?
Books.
Question 6. Elton John has re-released Hold Me Closer with which pop star?
Oh.
Greg's in Blacktown.
Elton John has re-released Hold Me Closer with which pop star? It's
Britney Spears.
It was seemed to be books with Amazon that brought people unstuck today.
Now they sell everything.
Well, we got to question 6.
Jam Nation.
What kind of sleeper are you?
I think I'm all right as a sleeper. Last night I went to bed, and I went to bed so early, I thought it was 10 to 8, it was 10 to 7. And then, yeah, I know. And then I woke up at 9 o'clock.
And thought it was morning.
And I couldn't work out what the time was.
Yeah.
Well, what time is it? It's
is
9
that the
o'clock.
morning? Where is
it's
it?
It's dark, but I can hear voices in the house.
But you're not a sleepwalker.
Maybe when I was a kid, I think my mum stopped me from doing a wee on my brother's head.
You knew exactly what you were doing.
That might have been deliberate because we shared the same room.
What about this woman I've been reading
we were
about?
young, by the way. I was 10.
you didn't go over to his house. You didn't drive over to his house to do it.
Drove across town. Hey, mate.
This woman in England, she's 30 years old. She's an intensive care nurse, and she has a problem with sleepwalking. When she was in her 20s, she would find herself outside her home, and it freaked her out. So what she does now, and she's got 2 kids at home, what she does is when she goes to bed, she says, here's a quote from her, "Every night I brush my teeth, I apply my moisturiser, I read my book, then I tie a dressing gown cord around my ankle and attach it either to the bedpost or to my husband. I've used a restraint in bed on and off for the past decade." So she said when the babies were newborns, she didn't need to do it because she was sleeping so lightly. And she's up and down, up and down, up and down. But once the children started to sleep through the night, her sleepwalking came back again. So here she is. She ties herself either to her husband or to the bed to stop her sleepwalking.
Do you use restraints in bed?
She has.
Answer the question.
What did you say to me?
Do you use restraints?
No, I don't. How about you? No need? No need.
No need for that.
You don't need to tie yourself to your wife. No need for that. I think it'd be really hard to be a sleepwalker. It'd be awful.
I don't understand it.
Very unsettling.
You hear horror stories about people doing it.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine it. She needs like a leg rope. You know, when you're in the surf, you got to
well,
a
that's
leg rope to your
that's what
board.
she's fashioned for herself here.
That could be a thing.
Well,
but it'd be scary.
It would be scary. And you hear all those stories about people on still knocks and all those sleep, wow. And people just find themselves on the other side of town, wing on their brother's head.
It was the still knocks, Your Honour.
Tribal drum is beating for Tales of the Sleepwalker.
Ooh. Is it you? And we won't judge you in any way.
No, it's fascinating.
We just want to perv into your life.
Absolutely.
Jam Nation
podcast. The tribal drum is beating Tales of the Sleepwalker.
This is on the back of a woman who ties herself to her bed every night so she doesn't sleepwalk.
And ties herself to her husband.
Yeah, her husband or her bed. When her kids were babies, she didn't have to when they were really little because she slept so lightly. But the minute they started to sleep through the night, her sleepwalking returned. So this is what she does.
My wife wouldn't do that. She doesn't want any ties. None at all.
None at all.
Janelle has joined us.
Hello, Janelle.
Hi.
Are you the sleepwalker?
Yes, I am. But interesting, a couple of my kids inherited it. But when I was 14, this was a number of things happened, but on this particular night, I woke up. Well, I didn't wake up. I got up. I went into my brother's room. I slapped his hand and said, "There's your passport." So he woke up and heard that. Didn't think anything of it. Went back to sleep. I went and had a shower. I put my pajamas back on, and then I went out the front door, and I was walking around in the front lawn, and my mum eventually found me walking sort of like up the driveway to walk out onto the street.
Eek!
Wow.
Eek! When they told you what had happened, did you think, oh, yeah, I was dreaming, blah, blah, or you have no memory of it?
It's weird, and I would have a snapshot. It was like a still photograph. And I remembered being in the bathroom and seeing my towel. There was just snapshots, but only 2 or 3, nothing more than that. And Mum and Dad from then on had a spare single mattress, and they used to put it up against the front door.
So you couldn't go out?
Yeah, or they'd hear me trying to move it. Yeah.
Oh, that was like a little alarm. Gee, do you know, and does this happen now? Does it stops now?
I hope so. I've been married for a long time, but I do find, like, my husband will find me sitting up talking and stuff like that, but I don't think I'm walking around. I do hope.
No, they say it's more common when you're younger.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you, Janelle.
Wow,
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast.
Something's wrong.
There's no sound.
Press a few of these buttons. I haven't switched it on. Oh, silly me.
Hello there. The Tribal Drummer's been beating tales of the Sleepwalker.
Imagine tying yourself down every night so you don't sleepwalk. This is what's happened to this English woman. She had an experience in her 20s where she woke up outside her home and she's prone to sleepwalking. So she ties herself to her bed or to her husband every night. What if he wants to go to the loo? Well, how does that work?
What if he wants to sneak out?
Well, sure, there's that as well.
Husbands do that.
No, it's probably to sneak out of the bed at night.
Yes,
probably more likely he's going to go and do a wee.
Yeah. Go to a party.
Make a fort.
You never know. You never grow out of that stuff. Anyway, Joe of Wollongong has joined us. Hello, Joe.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Great.
Well, are you the sleepwalker, Joe?
No, I'm not. It's my brother. He's a younger brother, and this is years ago. Mum and I were sitting in the lounge room at home watching Bill Collins' Golden Years of Hollywood, the second movie. And we're sitting here watching this movie. Everybody else is in bed. And then next minute we hear this noise. And we thought, oh, someone's up. That's okay. So we're continuing watching. The hallway is at the end of our lounge room. So we're watching the TV. Next minute, my younger brother comes out with a surfboard under his arm and car keys in his hand. So he's walking along the hallway, and we just looked at each other and went, oh, my God, David, what are you doing? And he just looked at us. And he stared, and we thought, what the hell? So anyhow, he gets to the front door, opens the front door, and we're going, David, what are you doing? Where are you going? It's like, I don't know, 10:30 at night, something like that. Anyhow, I got up and went up to him to stop him going out the door, and he just stared at me, and I turned around to my mum and I went, oh, my God, I think he's asleep.
Wow.
So anyhow, we thought, oh, my God, like, what's he doing? And Mum's going, oh, I don't know. I took the surfboard from him, and I said, David, you have to go back to bed. He said, I'm just going for a surf. And I went, oh, shoot. Anyway, so we got him back to bed. We just told him then. I said, David, no, you have to go back to bed. So I took his board and I took his car keys off him. And he went back to his bed, got into bed and went sound asleep. And I thought, that's really weird. The funny thing is, though, prior to this, my dad used to say to me, when you come home late at night, will you make sure you shut that damn front door? And I said, but I do, Dad. So it wasn't me. My father was getting up in the morning and finding our front door open, but it wasn't me. So we're thinking it was my brother. But we don't think he actually got in the car and drove down to the beach.
Oh, gee, but still.
Imagine driving sound asleep.
Yeah, how do you do that?
I'm a bad driver when I'm awake.
You sleep drive all the time.
Wow. Thanks, Joe.
Vanessa has joined us. Hello, Vanessa.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Your mum's the sleepwalker.
She is. She's been doing it for as long as I can remember, the poor thing. But so it was very common for my siblings and I and my dad to have Mum up in the house at night time. But she wasn't just a sleepwalker. The poor thing would have night terrors at the same time. So she'd be thinking that the wardrobe, for example, was falling on them. So she'd be holding the wardrobe up, screaming and screaming so the wardrobe wouldn't fall down. And my dad used to own a lawn mowing business, and he was cleaning gutters one day, and he'd fallen off the roof and landed on some silo bins and cracked some ribs. Apart from that, he was fine. So anyway, we were asleep in bed, and one night, and we could hear Mum screaming, and we just kind of all roll over and go, oh, she's at it again. But then the next thing we knew, Dad was screaming too, and like, oh my God, they're being murdered in their bed. So we all went running in, my brother and sisters and I all went running in to find Mum pummeling my dad's chest because she was dreaming that she'd rescued him, pulled him out from the water, and that he needed resuscitation. So Dad's got his cracked ribs and Mum's pummeling his chest, trying to revive him, and that's why he was screaming. So, yeah, anyway, we just had to wait for it all to be over.
Oh, wow.
Imagine that walking in on your parents doing that. What would you think?
But also your poor dad, broken ribs, and his wife bashes him in the chest. I'm saving you, you idiot.
We've got plenty of calls. Another one coming up.
Jam Nation.
The tribal drama's beating Tales of the Sleepwalker. I didn't think there'd be so many sleepwalkers around.
Well, it started off, we read a story about a woman who has to tie herself to her bed or a husband so that she doesn't wander away through the night. And, gee, you know, it seems that there are a lot of sleepwalkers around.
We've got Mark with us. Hello, Mark.
Good morning.
Are you a sleepwalker, Mark?
I'm not, but in the early 90s, I was working at a little shopfront police station when a woman walked in, inconsolable. She was in tears, streaming down her face, and it turned out she had woken up in the local cinema and didn't know where she was. So eventually I sat her down, went through a bag, and I found a New Zealand passport. And it didn't seem to jog a memory, so I went through a bag a bit further, and I found some phone numbers, but they were from New Zealand. So I rang those numbers, and it turned out that her husband had dropped her off at work that morning. She had gone back to her house, collected her passport, and flown to Australia and gone to the movies. And that's where she'd woken up at the end of the movie. She had no idea how she got there. She had no recollection of returning and getting a passport. Wow. She was terrified. And I ended up having to organise a taxi for her from the police station to the airport and for her husband to meet her at the airport at the other end in New Zealand. She had no idea.
Wow. So that may not have been sleepwalking, like some form of amnesia,
or
because she obviously was able to get home to get her passport and get to an airport and buy a ticket.
Yeah, I was working in forensics after that, and I spoke to the doctors about it, and they said it was a form of amnesia.
That's mental.
Wow.
Actually, it is mental.
How discombobulating for her. No wonder she was so anxious.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow,
she was
Mark.
terrified.
What movie did she see?
I probably slept through it as well, whatever it was.
I think it was Erasure by Arnie.
Very good, Mark.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Thank you, Mark.
You just wonder, don't you? Don't you wonder?
Well, it's like when you have a general
What goes
anaesthetic.
on in your head?
When you have a general anaesthetic. Have you ever had one?
Yeah, I've had a few.
Yeah, me too. And so you think, what happened to me? Where was I?
What happened?
Yeah.
That was your weekend.
Well, what does your brain do? I've left mine at home many days in a row.
Thank you for all your calls.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Podcast. Jonesy and Amanda in the morning. 101.7 WSFM.
Let's get on down to the Jonesy and Amanda Answer the Pub Test. Today, practical jokes, do they pass the pub test? Where's this come from?
I saw a thread on Twitter debating the practical joke. I hate practical jokes.
Yeah,
interesting. Scott Ellis, who's a journo I really
love
like.
Scott Ellis.
He said practical jokes are bullying. And in a way, it's true. You're made to look like the butt of a joke unwittingly. You don't even know that you're part of someone else's joke. Ha ha!
Yeah.
Where you haven't even agreed to enter into it. I get anxious with any kind of radio joke or
Yeah.
any of that
Well, they used
stuff.
to be
I
the
just
thing.
don't like it.
It was the thing to do when I used to work. Remember, we used to work with Club Veg. They'd do their
Yeah.
sucked in, and there was a whole
Excruciating.
thing. And then remember that thing happened with that show. They rang up the royal family. Remember that?
No, it was when Kate Middleton had morning sicknesses in hospital, and they pretended to be the
And then
royal family.
Consequently, that nurse took her own life because she didn't like the attention that she got. So what they did, now when you do a practical joke on the radio, you can ring the person, but then after you've done it, you have to get their consent to replay the practical joke. And a lot of the time the people go, no, I don't want to do that. So you waste all this time doing it. So when you hear a radio station doing a practical joke, it just doesn't happen like that anymore. It's such a big palaver to get it to, and it takes the authenticity out of it.
The nut of what you've just said is if you ask people, do you mind if we play this? A lot of them would say no, because you look like the butt of a joke that you didn't know you were part of.
For me, I just couldn't be bothered. I just couldn't be bothered doing it because you do the practical
people
joke
love them,
and then you got to do the revenge joke.
Oh, everyone knows a practical joker. Do you love them? What do you think? Practical jokes, do they pass the pub test?
We'll have that for you at 8 o'clock. 13 WSFM is our number.
Jam Nation. I want you to get up right now. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell. I'm not going to take this anymore.
Today's pub test, practical jokes. Do they pass the pub test?
Yes, I saw this as a thread on Twitter, debating the pros and cons of a practical joke. Everyone knows a practical joker. No one wants to be the butt of the practical joke.
No.
Because what it does is it makes you look foolish and you're not even aware that it's happening. I don't like them. What do you think, Brendan?
No, I'm not. I'm too lazy. I couldn't be bothered.
Oh, they make me anxious. Just tell them it's a joke.
And then when someone does the practical joke, then you've got to do the return practical joke.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful.
And then you've got to come up with something. You think, well, I couldn't be bothered.
Oh, practical jokes. Do they pass the pub test?
I think the last few years have been pretty dismal all round. So if you can have a bit of a laugh with people, I think it does pass the pub test, but within limit. I think if they're small and not too harmful, I think definitely. If they get a little bit out of hand, then it's not the way to go.
Yes and no. I'm a big practical joker, but unfortunately in this day and age it tends to verge on bullying, so you got to be careful how you play some jokes now.
No, they don't. It's only a joke if the other person thinks it's a joke. It's not good to make fun of people.
I don't think they do anymore because back in the day it used to be people would laugh at themselves and, get on and have a joke and whatnot, but now people are too precious, so unless it's something small, a close group of friends, but nah, people are too precious.
They sure do. As long as they're not at my expense, I think they can be quite funny.
As long as it's not going to hurt anybody and it's all fun and games, I don't think it's all right. But, if you're going to lose an eyeball, definitely not.
I think that's where we draw the line. If you're going to lose an eyeball, don't do it.
Thank you, because that would border on bullying. I think taking someone's eye... snowflakes these days. Back in our day, you lose an eyeball.
Can't do anything
You get in the
these
pub
days.
and you have a good old laugh about it later on.
Jam Nation.
The Taylor Hawkins tribute concert, I saw bits and pieces of it. Just, it must be so hard when you lose a much-loved member of your band. And Dave Grohl, as he says in his book, how much Taylor Hawkins meant to him, and they were such great mates. And, who was going to be the drummer in a band that's run by one of the greatest drummers in the world, and Taylor Hawkins fit that bill. We lost Taylor earlier this year, wasn't it? It feels like ages ago. It just feels like this year's gone so quickly. But nonetheless, what an amazing tribute concert.
It was a 6-hour concert at Wembley Stadium. I'm sure that's being packaged up for broadcast somewhere. 6 hours. And you had not just the Foo Fighters, but you had Kesha, Supergrass, Pretenders, Nile Rodgers, some of Led Zeppelin, Queens of the Stone Age, just a whole, and also his family took part in this too, Taylor Hawkins' family. It was an incredible and emotional night.
And when Taylor passed away, times like these, that was... the lyric from that song was put onto a lot of tributes, but to watch Dave Grohl trying to sing that song and the crowd helping him through it.
It's time
Wow.
Oh, goosebumps. Incredible. And Taylor's 16-year-old son is also a drummer. Who knew? I mean, what an incredible act to follow. He was invited up onto the stage and he is amazing. So have a listen to this. This is Taylor Hawkins' 16-year-old son on the drums.
Whoa. Man, I have such drum envy. Imagine if the kid wasn't a drummer, though, and was into the clarinet and went out and did a Kenny G solo.
I think they'd still support him.
You'd still support him.
Well, funds from the concert tickets and the merch sales are going to music support and music cares charities selected by the Hawkins family. So they helped organise that event. So I'm sure, as I said, this will be pay-per-view or something. We'll get to see this incredible concert.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Chris Minns is the leader of the New South Wales Labor Party, and he's making news this morning declaring that if he's elected next year, he wants mobile phones banned during the day at high schools. I don't think there's anyone who'd disagree with this, but is it actually possible? Chris Minns joins us now. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Jonesy.
Chris, how are you?
Yeah, really good. On a beautiful morning here in Cogra.
Beautiful.
Well,
loving it.
Love it. Isn't it not raining? I can't even look out the window from here. No, it looks okay.
We pull all the curtains down in the studio.
I know, to make it dark. I'm like a budgie locked in,
for
Chris.
our online content.
You're missing a great day. I'm sure you'll get into it soon.
I will eventually get into it. So, Chris, what's your research telling you about what's at stake if we don't do something?
Yeah, this is a good question, Amanda. So in the UK, it's optional for schools to ban mobile phones in high school or not. So they've got a lot of data that indicates whether it's a good thing to do within a high school because they can compare schooling communities. And they've shown with studies that there's for 16-year-olds, a 6.4% increase in results for standardised testing, which is the equivalent of 5 extra school days. And the gains were highest amongst the lowest academic achievers. So I don't think there's any doubt that mobile phones and social media in particular are a huge distraction in the classroom. And I think it's almost impossible for a teacher to work out whether a student is solving a complicated calculus problem on the phone or checking a TikTok update or texting a friend.
Yeah, and it seems odd to me that this is allowed, that you can have a mobile phone in school. But as you say, my son, when he was at school, my youngest son, he had a tablet that he did all his homework on. And a lot of the times I'd be watching him and I'm thinking, is he doing homework or is he doing school? And then sometimes I say, that's not a face of that's a face of enjoyment. That's not a face of homework.
But during the lockdown and kids doing their schooling from home, the technology saved everyone.
Absolutely, and obviously technology has to be part of the average school day, and many students rely on computers and tablets to get that done. But texting kids in classrooms or getting onto social media sites is not education. And look, I just feel that the New South Wales government's approach to this is to say, we don't want to ban it, we want to plot and help students have healthy phone habits. I just don't think it's going to happen. You can't have young people who don't have the discipline or maturity to deal with sophisticated technology that's actually designed to keep them on the device. I know many adults that find it almost impossible to put down their mobile phone. Heaven help young children who don't have the maturity to judge the difference between working on a math problem or a Shakespeare issue or having to deal with social media issues and the sum total of human knowledge in someone's back pocket.
So logistically, how hard would it be to, you have to pass a law? So that sounds pretty hard.
No, I mean, it's really simple in terms of the New South Wales State Department schools. We would just ban it inside New South Wales public schools. In high school in particular, it's already banned, it should be said, in New South Wales primary schools. We'd leave it up to schools as to whether students have to hand their phone in the morning or put it in their bag and not be able to access it during a school day. But I have to say, I've had teachers tell me that in many cases, students will just take out their mobile phone in the middle of class. It's impossible for a teacher to determine whether this is actually educational related or they're jumping on a TikTok video.
Wow.
So if they're all banned, then there's no excuse for anyone to take it out of their bag.
Obviously, we need to make sure that there's exemptions for those who, for example, are monitoring blood sugar levels or have a heart condition or there's some kind of medical exemption. Most of those technologies are actually associated with smartwatches rather than mobile phones, but we need to make sure those exemptions are in place. And I should also tell you that this has happened in Western Australia, Victoria, and South Australia is about to implement the change as well. So we can borrow from those jurisdictions, work out what's working in the classroom and make sure our students aren't disadvantaged as in relation to the other states.
I know it's easy to feel like the genie's out of the bottle and we can't really do anything, but we spoke to Johan. What was Johan's last name? He had a book about how hard it is for us, Johan Hari, how hard it is for us to focus. And it's really not our fault. Kids, teachers, parents, politicians, everybody, because of all the technology. But he said we have to remember humans have been alive for millions and millions of years. The technology is new. We can still shape how we deal with it.
It's only been around for 10,000 days.
We are in control of it. We seem to lose sight of that, don't we?
Absolutely, and children have malleable brains. It's really crucial for learning. That's exactly how young people learn the skills and educational information that they need to survive, but it's also ripe for manipulation, and I'm really concerned that young children are guinea pigs almost for big social media firms. They're the first generation to go through this, and we've got no idea what the long-term impacts will be for the younger generation. So if in doubt, let's protect them. This is a good first step in making sure that we focus on education and make sure that technology, which is useful in many instances, is not adversely affecting children's education.
When I was at school, you couldn't even have a calculator.
No, we weren't allowed to have a calculator.
The only thing I did for my calculator was write boobs on it.
That was how you did your HSC, wasn't it?
That was my major work. That was pretty much.
If you put that into a smartphone, Jonesy, you're in big trouble.
Big trouble.
He just wrote it out by hand.
And that's why you're running as leader of the opposition and not me, Chris. But you're doing the good work, mate. Thank you so much. Always great to catch up with you. The Honourable Chris Minns there. Thank you.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation Podcast.
Morning.
Morning.
Are you wearing the same clothes as yesterday?
Same as yesterday, same as the day before.
Do you still buy the weekend papers?
For some reason, we get it delivered, and I don't know why, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I think that we ticked a box somewhere along the line and it turns up on the Sunday and there it is.
We get the newspapers.
I read it with a cup of tea.
Yeah, every day here at work and at home. I always get the Saturday and Sunday Telegraph. And on Sunday, I just like going through the paper. There's always those supplements and all the junk inside. But usually with the Telegraph, what I do on Sunday is I go to there's like a 3D puzzle. Have you seen that? And you got to, it's one of those magic seeing eye puzzles.
You're the only one that sees it as 3D because you're hungover. It's actually just Fred Bassett.
It's still as unfunny as anything. I do not know why Fred Bassett is still in the paper. How is that even funny?
Why isn't he cancelled?
It's not even funny. Anyway, one of my favourite segments next to the 3D puzzle is the old photos section.
I look at that and I look at the wedding couples and the ones that got married in 1950 and I look at their faces and to see, do they still look the same? I do that.
Well, next to the old wedding couples photos, there's a section there and it says, go through your family album and send us a copy of your favourite photo and caption to see it published here. So one day I was just sitting there. I'd been at my mum's house going through an old photo album for some reason and I found this cool old picture of me in the backyard on my skateboard, my sister Anita behind me, and Dad's he used to have this Daihatsu van, and we used to call it the Noddy van, and it ran on 2-stroke fuel. But I saw that picture and I thought, I'm going to put some content in for their thing.
So you sent it in and here it is in the paper.
I sent it into the paper and then I did it months ago. But the cool thing about it, because Dad has since passed away, I remember that day when he took that picture. And Sydney's suburban life back then, all you did was you had your backyard. You had a bit of grass, a strip of concrete, and your skateboard, and that was the afternoon.
And it wasn't just your weekend. That's where you spent your holidays. Holidays just meant being off school. Didn't mean you went anywhere.
It wasn't like, and we didn't say to Dad, hey, Dad, can you take us somewhere? What are we doing, Dad? What are we doing? You just, mate, go out in the backyard, get on your skateboard. And I remember Dad going, hey, I'll take a picture.
And if you said you were bored, I'll give you something. I'll find something for you to do. Or if you said you were hungry, go and have an apple. That's not food.
That's exactly.
So look at you. Brendan, it says here, Brendan Jones sent this photo of himself on his skateboard with his sister Anita.
And that's the grief I got from my family, because I show my family being sentimental, and my daughter and my wife, how up yourself are you, sending a picture of yourself into the newspaper?
You're hoping for a front page. You're outraged.
No, but the thing is, I said, they're asking for content, so I'll ask you this as my friend and colleague. Is this up myself to send that in?
But
I'm
all these
content.
photos on this page were sent in.
But they were going, well, no one else has sent their own picture in.
They're all sent in by people. It's not like the paper just finds these photos.
But it's not like I sent in a 10x4 publicity shot of me going...
Didn't you? Because you don't have any. Look at this. Your tongue's hanging out. You got your thongs on. It's like our last publicity shot.
They were simple times.
Jam Nation. Everybody shout. Come on now, sing out. It's time for the Ghoulies get together.
You can phone our Ghoulie hotline anytime, 9061 984. If you're our favourite Ghoulie of the year, you get $20,000 cash and a year's supply of chocks from Daryl Lee.
Yum. What have we got?
What really, really annoys the heck out of me is when people leave not only drips but pubic hairs on the toilet seat and then walk out without cleaning it off.
Yeah.
It just takes 1 second to look behind you before you walk out of that toilet to see if you've left anything behind.
You know.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we've got.
My girlies is my Father's Day present. My loving adult daughters, I got a nose and ear hair trimmer, which is lovely. Thanks.
Well, maybe use it on your pubes so you don't leave that on the toilet.
Want someone cutting a forest in there? Out with the bad, in with the good if you dipped out. You can always call the hotline number 9061 7984.
Jam Nation.
Our favourite caller, email or Facebook friend wins a double pass to the Red Hot Summer Tour. You'll be seeing Paul Kelly, Bernard Fanning, Missy Higgins, more.
I'll be seeing entertainment. That's what I'm telling you.
It's Sunday 26 at Bella Vista Farm. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.
You also get the Jonesy and Amanda tea towel and our little fridge magnets with our dolly heads.
We were talking earlier about a woman who's a prolific sleepwalker, and at night, this is her bedtime routine. She brushes her teeth, she applies her moisturiser, she reads a book, and then she ties herself either to the bed or to her husband. Tribal drum was beating for Tales of the Sleepwalker. Here's Vanessa from Toongabbie. Her mum not only sleepwalks but has night terrors as well.
My dad used to own a lawn mowing business, and he was cleaning gutters one day and he'd fallen off the roof and landed on some silo bins and cracked some ribs. And one night, we could hear Mum screaming, and we just kind of all roll over and go, oh, she's at it again. But then the next thing we knew, Dad was screaming too, and like, oh my God, they're being murdered in their beds. So we all went running in, my brother and sisters and I all went running in to find Mum pummeling my dad's chest because she was dreaming that she'd rescued him, pulled him out from the water, and that he needed resuscitation. So Dad's got his cracked ribs and Mum's pummeling his chest, trying to revive him, and that's why he was screaming. So, anyway, we just had to wait for it all to be over.
It took about 5 seconds. Mum's pummeling Dad again.
Righto, you two. That's enough.
You can win your way out of winter with Ugly Phil. He wants to put you on a standby for a trip to Thailand.
Ooh.
Thailand this week.
We'll be back from 6 to 9 for Jam Nation.
See you then.
Good day to you.
Well, thank God that's over.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Wipe the tears, baby, tears from your eyes.
Catch Jonesy and Amanda's podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast. Catch up on what you've missed on the free iHeartRadio app.